DeLacy Howard here with Third Movement. Wanted to bring a video to you guys. Really, more or less, it's a conversation and a conversation series. Um, one thing that I want to do on this channel, and that is bring up things that are close to my heart. It's kind of hard because my whole thing is I'm Christ first, right? But there are other things that affect me, that maybe not Christ first, but we need Jesus in it, right? One of the reasons why I don't support the ideal of organized church in the way that it's been performed in the last few years, or I'm not gonna say last few, I mean for the last decade, for decades, is because I think that it can be very religious. And for me, if I'm Christ follower, that means Christ is in every part of my life, and that's huge, right? So Christ is a part of my work life. Christ is a part of my family life. Christ is a part of how I hang out with my friends. Christ is a part of how I go to restaurants. Christ is in part of in every part of my life, and I am multi-dimensional. Christ is everything to me, but everything else just does not stop mattering, right? So we look at and I'm not afraid to go here on this channel. And you know that because I go here all the time. But we look at a lot of stuff that's happening with the race groups and everything happening in our culture outside of Christ. We are seeing that we need Christ in it. So we look at this whole racialized America, and in the racialized America, we need Jesus in this process. And and we can't deny it. That's one thing we cannot do is we can't deny that race is an issue in America. And I think for the church to not say anything or the church to take sides is incredibly wrong and incredibly selfish. And I think that's what's going on. So I don't want to take sides. I kind of want to make sense of everything, right? So it's two groups out there that goes against each other. There was Black Lives, and then there was All Lives, right? Which is in one sense, both of them is understandable, but in another sense, how they came about to each other and how they go against each other is really stupid and selfish, right? So the Black Lives Matter group was created, and this video series is going to count. It's going to be called "How to Make Black Lives Matter," but this video is this intro. So in this intro, I just kind of want to explain everything. So there's a group called Black Lives Matter, which was for a group of black people and white people. That's what's important. It's a group of people came together and said, when we look at all these police killing of young black men, it's an issue, and we want to fight against the issue. So we named it. So they named their cause Black Lives Matter. And then to counter that, a group was created by a other side. And at the end of the day, what this may be is Democrat, Republican. Because I don't see none of the groups crossing out. Like I don't see, and I may be wrong, but I don't see a big push in the conservative that's saying Black Lives Matter, and I don't see a big push in the liberals, Democrats that's saying all lives matter. Right? I don't see that big push. So for me, it's kind of look like it's a setup to be, just another blood and Crips, and that's not helpful, right? That the Democrat and the Republican is not helpful. That whole and this Black Lives versus All Lives movement, it may not be helpful, but at the end of the day, what should be the biggest thing that comes from this is making all lives matter, And if we're gonna make all lives matter, that means black lives have to matter. So I don't agree with a lot of stuff that all lives matter do, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff that black lives matter do. Right? I and I just wanna stay focused on Black Lives Matter. This is not a talk that's gonna say, okay, well, I want to talk about Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. This is not even about the groups. This is about the people. How do we make all lives matter? Starting with black people, because in our country we have to look at data, and data does show that not all lives matter, right? And it seems like black lives. And if we go back to our history, and the Bible tells you there's nothing new under the sun. So history is very important in looking at a lot of stuff. Um, Black lives in this country has not always mattered. But what I'm gonna do in this series is not put the blame on anybody. I'm gonna force people in this series to take responsibility, right? Because that's what's got to happen. Responsibility has to happen at the end of the day, or no lives will ever matter if there's no responsibility. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this whole Black Lives Matter, we can cut that out and say, women lives don't matter, right? We have that issue. We can also say that veteran lives don't matter. We have these issues. We can say Hispanic lives don't matter. We have these issues. So it's not about coming against people. It's about coming against these things that really needs to change. So with that being said, this concludes the intro, and I hope you guys see my heart. I hope you guys see my heart in this series, and I hope you guys sit through the whole series and don't judge series and don't judge me by a video, right? I really hope that this counteract that idea of I'm gonna listen to one video and I'm gonna judge you by this video. No, this is me telling you that it's gonna be a series and you have to listen to it all. And the end game of this series is all lives mattering, truly mattering, not because I'm saying it just because Black lives, they got the Black Lives Movement matter, and now I'm not saying that. I'm saying this because that's what Christ would want. Christ died for all lives, so all lives matter to Christ. All lives matter to Christ. For God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son, said, "Whoever believe." God so loved the world. It wasn't for one person. It wasn't for the Catholics, for Christians, or the Jews. It was for everybody. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Did they say I want that movement?